we're using the muscles that we're supposed to be using. Take a look at myself and really decide what was important to me. And then I started coaching people. This is when you gotta like build the habits of. This is when you gotta like really execute. You just have to make those kinds of sacrifices if you want to be a champion. You know, I had to take a look at myself and decide like what kind of man I want to be. Starting like that is going to help us transition really well.
Happy New Year, everyone, and welcome to the very first episode of Who's Next with Lex. I'm your host, Lex, and I'm here to dive into the worlds of incredible people, learn their craft, and maybe, just maybe, inspire you along the way. And today, we're starting the year off strong, literally. I'm here at Wright's Gym being a good friend of mine, Nick, who is a bodybuilder and fitness expert in the Pittsburgh area, who knows exactly how to turn those resolutions into results. We're gonna dive into his story, get some tips on how we can keep those fitness goals past the live February, and he's gonna put me through a workout. So make sure y'all pray for me, okay? Let's get it, and you're watching Who's Next with Lex.
We'll start with some bodyweight lunges to get our hips, our knees and stuff, shit like that warmed up. We'll do some hip cars, get all the dynamic stuff out the way first, and I'll show you like a little bit of a dynamic stretch that I like to hit before legs. And so the biggest thing is like we're trying to loosen up our hips a little bit, so you don't want to step out super wide. So all we'll do is boom. It's like I'm just gonna have you keep it nice and slow, right? But it's like we're super important for the negative, right? Because like that's where all your money's made. That's where you're under the most amount of tension. You know what I mean? Loosen up the joints a little bit too. So like whenever we start throwing some weight on, right? We start training, our nervous system's like ready for the movement, you know?
It's the new year, and you know, everyone's trying to lock in and do their fitness journeys. What's one thing you tell people who want to start off strong?
Create actionable steps. So one thing that I think is like we kind of get lost with, it's like goal setting. But I think like short-term thinkers thinking goals. Long-term thinkers, they're thinking systems. So I think, why is that important? Because it's not really like about having certain goals for yourself. I mean, it is. Because that's kind of what like, is this like guiding force?
Yeah.
But you have to create a set of standards for yourself. I want to be fit. I want to be, healthy.
Yeah.
There's a million ways to do that, as opposed to like, oh, I want to lose X amount of pounds. If you are going in the new year and you really want to like take this serious and have it not be a thing where you do it for a couple of months and then like you fall off.
Yeah.
Then you got to create like a set of principles around like what you really want, right? Because like I have a reason, I have a why.
Yeah, it's like standards.
You feel me?
You got to uphold.
Absolutely. Standards that you uphold for yourself. I want to go start with some adduction work. Just to warm up, nothing crazy.
I'm ready.
And then we're gonna go hit some deadlifts. I'm doing this shit because I want to like warm up. My quads real good. I almost kind of want to like make them a little tired too. Okay. So that way when I start deadlifting, I don't really use them as much.
So what does the abductors target?
So right now, I'm trying to target this guy. This little like teardrop muscle. Vastus medialis, right? Do a couple of these. Like I said, they're not like anything crazy, dog. So one thing though, I'll go like all the way back on these. I'll just like slide in. And it's really important to like get a stretch, because this muscle right here is like some of the longest in your leg. So you need to train it at its like longest range of motion if you want it to grow as much as you want it to. You know what I mean? So this weight's pretty late, but that's like how we want to start. I'm not trying to get super cooked early. Like I said, like we got deadlifts. Yeah. Like deadlifts are gonna take a lot out of us. So we want to like warm it up. Yeah. If anything, like this is super light for me. It's harder for me just to control it, but that's a good thing. I want it to be harder for me. I want it to be harder for me to just like control, because then it gives me a deeper connection with the muscle I'm trying to hit. I got to think about it more. I'm a little bit more conscientious about my reps. Starting like that is going to help us transition really well. By the time we just fucking lifting heavy and doing deadlifts and shit, where it's like, all right, now I'm just kind of going on autopilot. You know what I mean? Yeah. Like don't force it. Yeah. It should be comfortable. You want to use your range of motion, wherever your nervous system is comfy at right now, and then you'll have more clearance as you like do more reps.
So how about I'm trying to
and then there's a little like yellow thing on the side. And then you could just like and that's how you'll fuck around with it.
Oh, and then the stretch all the way.
I gotta find a way to just use this extra energy.
Yeah.
Right? And so when I was growing up, my dad was in the gym heavy. My uncle was in the gym heavy. I'm from California. And so, I mean, like, it's not uncommon for fools just to be super about their well-being like that. Like, you know, super about their physique like that, you know? I kind of use that a little bit as, like, inspiration. You know what I mean? And first time I was ever in a gym, man, maybe 13 years old. And then from there, like, you know, about 15, 16 is when I got expelled. That's when I started getting real serious with it. I still wasn't a bodybuilder yet, though. I just knew that I loved training. I just knew that I loved that shit. And then even when I did sports, the sports were cool because I'm a man and I love to compete, just like most men. But I was really just like, I really love the you versus you mentality of like the training in between. You really like put things in perspective for me. Like, well, if I want to get better at something, I could just apply a little bit of pressure here in this area, in this arena, and I will. And it yields, whether it be mentally or physically. You know what I mean? I started working at LA Fitness when I was maybe like 19 type shit, maybe 19, 20, right? Maybe 18, 19, right? And then that's kind of when I experienced, I think, bodybuilding in a serious way. I mean, like I had friends when I was younger, like friends' parents, especially when I was younger and stuff like that. But I never considered myself being able to do some of the things those people did until I started working there at that LA Fitness. And then watching some of those fools and then, you know, talking to some of the big homies and they put me on the stuff. And I'm like learning, I'm soaking it up like a sponge because I'm a young guy at that point. I was just really just trying to take my fitness more serious.
Yeah.
And then I started coaching people. You know what I mean? Once I started coaching people, that came first. Still, like I've been in fitness that whole time. Never even considered bodybuilding. I just knew that I loved building my body. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's cool.
Finally, though, it wasn't until I started working at Gold's Gym. You know, I started coaching people over there and seeing some of those people come in for some of these shows that I realized, like, oh shit, like I've been working this long. I've been just putting my head down doing the work. I realized, like, oh man, like I can actually compete with some of these guys. 2016, 2017, that's when I decided to do my first show. And we just been rocking with it ever since, man.
Yeah, that's good. And you got a show coming up, right?
Yeah. There's one in May that I'm prepping for right now. Still pretty early. Okay. But we're just, right now it's the off season. So this is when you got to like build a habits up. This is when you got to like really execute, you know what I mean? Because by the time we get to the show, it's like you want borrowed time. Yeah. And so it's like everything that you did during the off season, you know, them last couple of months of the show or whatever, when you start prep, like those are the things you're battling against. So if you're just having a pretty, you know, perfect off season for the most part, you know, in terms of mentally, just kind of stand on your shit. By the time you do a show, the prep's so much easier. So that's why I'm starting a little early in terms of, you know what I mean? Get ahead of the game. Yeah, exactly. We're gonna switch right over here. You know what I mean? And then after that, we'll do some deadlifts. Okay, got it. All right. So what we're gonna do now is we're gonna switch it up a little bit. Okay. So you see that little yellow situation on the side? So get your feet situated and go ahead and do your thing. Okay, I actually went up a little bit, so I'm sorry. You don't need that heavy. Maybe do like 80. It'd be all right, you know? But this is what I want you to do, though. I want you to keep your chest up, and I want you to, like, lean in to your waist, right? You know what I'm saying? That's cool. You can grab the sides. I like grabbing the sides like that myself, but it really doesn't matter what you want to do with your hands. I never know what to really do with my hands, you know? But as long as you're leaning into your waist, what you don't want to do is, like, round your back, right? Why is that important? Because you are trying to hit right now, at least. You want to hit more glute med. It's just like upper part of your butt right here. It's kind of, you know, when ladies talk about the shelf, that's kind of what that is, you know? So when you lean forward a little bit through the waist, right, not arching your back, you're able to use that more. That'll help that grow. That'll help that grow. Good shit. 3, 4. Keep your eyes up. Your body's going to follow wherever your eyes are going. Yeah. So if your eyes are down, your body's going to want to start going down. You know what I mean? I feel it. Yeah. Good. 9, 10, 14. One more. Oh, getting tired. One more. There we go. Good job. See what I mean? Yeah. Kind of definitely the difference when you're leaning forward. Yep. Sometimes that's really all it is, dog. Like, there's only like a handful of exercises you can do. Sometimes the modifiers that you switch are just like different ways you lean forward or move your hands. You know what I mean? Sometimes like little adjustments like that are enough to push the needle. For someone who is starting their fitness journey, their weight loss journey, do you think it's all about what's important is the nutrition, the workouts, the mindset, or is it all of the above? I mean, like the easy answer would be all of the above. Okay. But I'm not going to give you the easy answer. I think mindset of everything, right? It has to be something that like you see value in. And if you don't see value in it, then it's like nobody can help you. We develop mental resiliency in the gym, and so I feel like a lot of people talk about nowadays with people highlight their mental health more often, and I think that's a huge part of the gym that nobody takes into consideration nearly as much as they should. If you have a mindset of self-mastery, that right there is enough to set you on a trajectory that allows you space or an atmosphere to become the best version of yourself forever. Because self-mastery is a lifelong endeavor. Like, you don't just stop getting better. You know what I mean? I want to look good, you know what I mean, whoop, whoop, whoop. And, like, these are noble goals. But, like, if they're not based in a good place, then they're not going to bear fruit. Like, a lot of people want to change their bodies. I think, like, a very important distinction, and like I said, in terms of mindset, is like a lot of people want to change their bodies because they hate how they look or they hate where they're at. Mm-hmm. But, like, you can't hope to change anything if you're just, like, if you hate it or if you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because that energy just, like, follows you. But you got to love yourself enough to know that, like, you deserve the best in life. And I think once you switch that mindset, and then, like I said earlier, self-mastery now becomes essentially like the end-all, be-all to be the best I can be and to know that all that I can know, then the nutrition, the exercising, all that shit
will
just
come
starts
after,
to come after. Okay. You know what I mean?
You were counting?
That's 10.
10.
11. Yeah. 12. I'm going to do like 20.
Okay.
You know what I mean? Notice I'm not leaning forward, though.
Yeah.
Right? So, like, I kind of want to feel just more of my actual leg, right? These are a little bit overactive for me lately. You know what I mean? My glute med, we call it. And so I want to feel more of this. I'm going to stand up a little bit straighter when I do these. Don't get me wrong. Like, I'm still feeling my hip flexors and shit like that. But this is a better way for me, at least, in my body to warm up whenever I go do my deadlifts. This platform got an aura on it. You know what I mean? I feel its aura. It speaks to me. It talks to me. You know
I don't think when I work out, I include deadlifts in my. When I work out, I don't think I include deadlifts in my routine. Do you think deadlifts is a important factor? Like,
I think it just depends on what your goal is.
Okay.
You know, but in most goals, I think, like, in terms of functional movement, like, knowing how to do a deadlift is like peak functional movement.
Okay.
But with that being said, it's like there's steps to this, and it's like kind of difficult.
Okay.
You know what I mean? Because a lot of us generally just have like bad posture. You feel me?
Yeah.
But like posture can be reversed, posture can be fixed. But like a lot of people try to progress too fast on the deadlift, and it's like you can't really fix a thing if you're progressing too fast. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And so back to my initial point though, it's like if you want to be just generally strong, like throw them in for sure. You know. If you have a very specific goal and you want to get pretty big bang for your buck, just kind of ask yourself, like, all right, like, are deadlifts something that makes sense for me to do? That's a better question to ask.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
For me right now, though, they make a lot of sense to me. I try to grow my hamstrings.
Yeah.
Try to grow my back. And I just love them.
Okay.
And I just like them. That's a big factor, too. Can we talk about that?
Yeah.
That's like, everybody want to talk about, like, oh, like, what's the perfect exercise? Like, just fucking find something you like. Just do shit you like for a little bit and see what happens.
Yeah.
Right? You know what I'm saying? So, and this is one of those things for me because I'm really good at them now.
Okay.
You know?
You gotta show me. You gotta show me how to get. We about to get it. We about to get it in. Okay.
Let's start a little light. Yeah, I'm about to get busy, bro. It's a good day today. I'm all carved up. I'm trying to get big.
I swear, I feel like you're already big. Like you're the hugest person I know.
I mean, that's valid. You know what I mean? But a lot of people don't know a lot of bodybuilders.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I feel like a lot of men forget that, like, we need merit. You know what I mean? Like, you got to do shit before you could, like, say that you're the shit. Like, you got to do something. You feel me?
Yeah.
So I just, like, say it. Because it's like Instagram, right? You, like, post some pics.
Yeah.
You kind of, like, make an appearance.
Mm-hmm.
That's like, nah. Like,
what do you do behind the scenes?
Show me the proof.
Yes.
You feel me? And for me, it's like, maybe I'm just hard on myself, though, at the same time. It's like a character flaw, who knows? But for me, I'm just like, I got to prove myself that I can, like, do these things. You know what I mean? That's why I appreciate doing hard things. I think everybody should do at least one hard thing a year. You want to just start with the heaviest weight. You want to do a couple of, we call them feeder sets. You know what I mean? I think that's a big part of that. Like, a lot of people just think, like, oh, let me come in, let me do my little 3 sets or whatever. But, like, you got to prime your nervous system up. Like, if you want to make sure that you're able to perform at your best through your working sets, like, generally I'll do like 2 or 3 warm-up sets, and then I might do like 2 or 3 actual working sets. You know what I mean? Before I even get to the workouts,
Yeah.
shit, you know what I'm saying? But a lot of that is just to kind of prime up your nervous system, right? Because the deadlift, like this movement right here, is very, very taxing on your nervous system. It's a big movement. That's why we starting with it, right? Because if we start with it, our nervous system's already used to this. Everything else after this seems significantly easier. You know what I mean? But with that being said, we want to kind of slowly prime that up, right? We don't want to just like immediately go all in and just like completely get cooked before we even get started. You know what I mean?
I try to stay away from this machine.
Yeah? You scared?
Yeah, a little bit.
Good. Good. So, all right, now you got your bar. All right, it's pretty light. You know what I mean? A couple of things you want to highlight. Remember what I told you earlier, whenever we were doing those adductors? Your body's going to follow wherever your eyes are going. So if you start the movement with your eyes down, your body's going to want to start to
go down.
Follow your eyes.
Yeah.
So you want to start with like a neutral gaze. Can I change you spots for a second?
Yeah.
So you want to start with like a neutral gaze. That's a big part. I feel like nobody talks about that enough. You want to start with a neutral gaze so that your body stays neutral. I'm going to get right in the middle of the bar. Right? Big chest. And all I'm going to do, I'm going to keep my eyes in that one spot. I'm going to act like somebody has a rope and it's pulling my waist. You feel me?
Yeah.
Perfect. So just like that.
Yeah.
Pulling my waist. Boom. All I'm going to do there. Obviously, you're going to need to walk back. And then you just like repeat. Big chest. Eyes are neutral. I'm going to bring it right above where my knees go. You're going to feel like a tug and pull in the hamstrings. Like you're going to feel like this shit moving. Right? You're going to feel them back there tugging and pulling. And then like you'll feel there'll be a spot where it starts to maybe feel a little like bindy. Like you'll feel like it's going to get kind of tight. And you're like, oh, okay. Once you feel like these go as far as they can go, stop right there, hang out. If you try to exceed that and your body's not ready, it's going to compensate. It's going to find a way to distribute that tension somewhere else. It's going to find the path of least resistance. That's where a lot of people fuck up because they don't even master that first. They don't even master that hinge first. You just keep throwing weight on until their back gets fucked up. You know what I'm saying? So that's what you want to do though. You want to like neutral gaze, keep it tight. Find, in terms of your body, keep it tight. Find where the hamstrings will let you go. And then when you feel like they're at their most lengthened or when they're their tightest, that's when I want you to then tuck your chin into your chest. Drive your waist through. Squeeze your butt at the top. Just like that.
Got it.
Just give it a shot. See how it feels.
Okay, got it. I like how you said big chest. Like, I got a big chest.
Money. Narrow up a little bit with your stance.
Okay.
Yeah. Nice and straight. Yup. Yup. Money. Now step back a little bit. Just go wherever the hamstrings let you. Yeah. Stretch. Drive. Tuck that chin. Yeah. The hips should always move first, and the knees will just follow. Money. That was your best one right there. That was money. Boom. Focus on the hips. Last one. Money. All right.
Yeah.
What you think? Feel pretty warmed up?
Yeah.
All right, let's get some fucking weight on there.
So tell me, what's one tip for like staying consistent when life get busy or the motivation just wears off? Like,
that's a really good question, actually. Yeah. I love that question. I think whenever like shit gets kind of crazy, we got to have a little bit of balance, but not the way you think balance looks. A lot of us think like balance is 50-50, right? Is that like a general assumption you think? Safe to say? But it's not that, right? Like, do you only have like 2 aspects in your life? Or do you have multiple aspects? You have your, like nobody has just like this or this thing. People have like social responsibilities, right? Career responsibilities. Some of us have academic responsibilities. And these things are all important. Yeah. Right? So, but so is your health. So is coming to the gym and taking care of yourself, right? So it's like, are we just going to like neglect this thing because we just feel like we got to just put more energy in this other thing? Yeah. You're just going to run yourself in the habit of like this all or nothing mentality. And it's going to mean your destruction. Nobody can ever live that way sustainably ever, right? It's really about creating a sense of equilibrium. But what does that mean though? So it's like, if I got, let's say, for the sake of math, right? I'm not a mathematician, I'm a trainer. You know what I mean? So for the sake of math, let's say we have 4 main things that we want to focus on. And we only have 100% of energy, right? We're only ever going to have 100% energy at any given time. You know what I mean? So let's say if I got these 4 things. I got social, I got my career, I got my well-being, and I got, my academic life. You know what I mean? let's say if I'm working 4 12-hour shifts this week. Let's say it's a busy one, right? It's a long shift. You know what I mean? That I'm working. So let's say 50% of my energy goes into work for now. You know what I mean? Let's say if like this week I'm super locked in, so 50% of my energy has to go to work, you know? So that leaves what? That leaves my social life.
Yeah.
That leaves my academic life, and that leaves my my well being, you know what I mean, so to speak, in a manner of speaking. So 50% of the energy is over here. That's half my energy now. I only got a 50% left.
Yeah.
Right, but I still got like these 4 things that I gotta like focus on. So maybe, you know, social life. Let's say some friends are in town. I got a real big event, you know, coming up. Some friends are in town. So let's say maybe 30% of my energy this week goes into my social life. So that still leaves 20%.
Yeah.
So that last 20% I put into my, you know, my academics and my exercise. I know we were kind of talking a little bit in between, and you just watched me do a set. How many reps did you, after you did that with no weight right there? Keep in mind the bars got starting resistance. After you did that set though, how you felt? Like how many reps you felt like you had left in the tank?
Probably like 5 more.
5 more?
Yeah.
Oh, you strong.
But I like going, when I'm in the gym, it makes me, you know, have that mindset. I'm doing this for me. I'm making my health better. My body is literally my temple, so I want to push myself as hard as I can.
It's the best motivation.
Yes.
Let's push yourself as hard as you can then. Let's go 25.
Okay.
That bar is like a good one to use too.
Okay.
It's like 50 pounds right now.
Okay.
See how you feel. If it's too heavy, you know, drop down. Don't feel bad about it.
Okay. While I'm doing this, tell me a bit more about your brand, Crucial. It's about, you know, fitness and lifestyle. How do you want people to feel when they're wearing it?
I want people to feel empowered when they wear my shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, there's a lot of fitness brands out there. There's a lot of coaches out there. For me, it's like having merchandise for my coaching brand and my brand of fitness, I think is like a calling card. It's more or less like, here's a beacon for all you cool motherfuckers out here who like to train, who watch a little bit of anime, who be in the gym, who listen to cool ass shit, who just be on some like fly shit. But like, you know what I mean? Who doesn't necessarily fuck with the corny shit either. Like, fucks with authenticity. It's a beacon for individuals who are genuine to come through and be like, hey, you guys can train too. It doesn't need to be just guys who you label like me or bodybuilders. I'm just like y'all. Less knees, more hips. There we go. Do you feel that?
Yeah.
Feel the difference? Let's do 5 more. Money. Two more.
Woo!
Money. Good shit. Damn, I see you out here, fool. Trying to get like you.
I'm trying to get big as you. That was money right there.
Yeah, that shit was heavy though.
That was money.
I can't even lie.
I wish. I wish.
All right, let's see what you got.
Okay. I can't do 4 plates.
You know,
now.
I was really digging this way right here. Did you feel pretty good?
Yeah.
How'd you feel at the end?
Very, like, I feel like once you put more weight and the heavier, it makes my mind feel like, okay, like you're getting stronger. It helps build those reps and you can go higher and higher after that.
Did you feel like a better connection to some of the muscles you were using?
Yeah. Especially my hip.
Yeah.
I kept thinking, like, imagine someone's just pulling.
With the rope, right?
Yeah.
It's a good one.
And I feel like that's a mental thing as well. Like,
yeah.
Once you tell your mind, like, what to think about and set that on, you're straight.
I'm a big believer that visualization when you're training is a key component. It's not like an optional strategy. Like, it should be like the norm, you know? Because, like, if I want to develop a deeper connection with my muscles, I like almost want to envision it in my mind working, right? So I feel it.
Yeah.
I envision what it looks like, get a better connection with it. I feel like, you know, if somebody wants to prove me wrong about this, like, I mean, good luck. But I feel like it's the thing that helps you get, you know, really, really, like, really appreciate kind of what you're doing, I guess.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? If you know what muscles you're using, you know where to see improvement at. Does that make sense?
Yeah. Does it matter like where you put your hands when you are touching the bar?
That's such a good question. So yeah, it does.
Okay.
So like, can I show you something?
Yeah.
So let's say if I'm about to do my weight, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, grab the bar out here. I have far less leverage out here than I do if I'm super compact into my body. When my arms are out here, right, I have to distribute, my the force a little bit differently than if I'm like super tight.
Yeah.
So now I'm super tight. The force gets distributed like a little bit more evenly. So that's essentially what I mean when I have like more leverage on the bar. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So in this case, you want to try to keep it as close as you can. Try to keep your arms parallel with your shins and your knees. So that way you can maximize your leverage.
Okay.
One more. Two more now. There we go. Last one. Good shit. All right, go ahead. So did you feel those shakies?
Yes.
That's a good thing. We like shakies.
Yes.
Why do we like shakies though? So that tells us if we get shakies, right, that we're using the muscles that we're supposed to be using. They're getting tension. They're shaking because they're trying to distribute that force that you're providing, that resistance that you're providing. And they burn in, they're full of blood because you're actually using them. We want to stop, yes, we want to kind of stop looking at exercising as being like this rigid thing and more of like this like kind of living, breathing thing where it's like essentially all you're really trying to do at the end of the day is just like push your body to as far as it can go because that's how you see adaptation. So it is important to train with failure. It is important to get to where you felt. Like at the end of your set there, you felt like maybe you have like 1 or 2 reps left.
Yeah.
Like that's solid for most people, I think.
Okay.
That's solid for most people, I think. And then like our last set, like we got one more set, you're going to get pretty close. I want you to get to the point where like you feel like you maybe have 1 rep or no reps left in a tank. Before
we do this, I got to do Lex Express. You got 30 seconds to answer these 4 questions, okay?
Just like that. Okay, let's see what I got.
Ready? Your house is on fire. What's the one thing you're grabbing?
Gotta grab my protein, baby, always.
Pineapple on pizza, yes or no?
For sure, it breaks down protein.
What's the best advice you ever received?
One of my favorite quotes is, God provides the wind, but man must set the sails. Okay. And I think that was really powerful advice for me because you can have all the hope that you want. Hope is important, but faith requires action.
What's your go-to hype song?
Damn, go-to hype song, West Side Slaughterhouse by the West Side Connection.
Okay. Good job.
Fuck yeah.
Is this good?
It looks good, yeah. So what I would do, here, turn your foot a little bit.
This way?
Like 15 degrees and your money now. That's too much.
Okay.
Where you had it the first time. Yeah, that's money.
Okay.
All right, go ahead. Beautiful. Back up. Perfect. 2, money. Get 10. 4, I got you. 7, keep going. Let's get 10. All right. Good job.
Huge shout out to Nick for pushing me through this workout and dropping some serious life and fitness gems. If you're starting your 2025 fitness journey, remember it's all about showing up and staying consistent. Make sure to check out Nick's brand, Crucial. It's more than just fitness wear, it's a mindset. If you loved today's episode, make sure to give it a like, comment, and subscribe. Until next time, it's Lex. See you on the next.